Orange Couch today. It's my pleasure to welcome Todd Larson. Todd is the president and CEO of Limitless Technology. So Todd, I'm an owner of 10 communities in senior living. I know that I am affected because I have to quarantine my staff. I can't allow anybody in the door to be able to tour. So I know I have to be creative at being able to show my building just to generate interest. But I know that Todd Larson can be able to save me money. So where do I start? I don't know really much about what you do outside of, I know you can be able to find me savings for things that I'm probably paying too much for right now. Where do I begin?
I want to make it simple. I think people like to complicate things, Jonathan. When we talk about that business owner, they've got 100 million things coming at them. They're trying to figure out how they're bringing in top line revenues, how they're sorting out their billing, what new compliances that are affecting those revenues. They're now faced with a pandemic like we never in our lifetime, maybe never in modern history, have faced such a trying time. And now they have reduced resources. Those resources could be sick. They're being affected. Those things are happening on the front lines. And yet they still have to cater, right, to the individuals, the loved ones that are trying to bring their people into a place that can take care of them in a very scary and trying time. So without those tools, those marketing tools that are effectively there for them to do, it would be impossible to grow top line revenues. So during this time, things get tight, right? And so people worry about what are these expenditures that I could look at. And so, they want to be the experts sometimes before they need to be. In a service like ours, all we do, right, is investigate where people are. So I tell an analogy that I think is important to understand. When I look at a business, those 10 locations, this, overwhelmed owner at this time, is they have basically what I call a geological setting, right? They have a business that is much like having a piece of land that could have the potential of a strain of mineral that is very, very rich and vast in their backyard. And what we like to think of it is that they have people that are great at the jobs they do for maintaining senior living space and taking care of residents and doing the right thing by them. But what we do is we take our deep specialist and expertise to be able to bring back to them an understanding of what lays in that land as it relates to gold, silver, diamonds. And they do have those in recoveries, in reduced cost, and in savings opportunities that lay right within their business bills and contracts. And so we take those bills and contracts and look at them much as a geologist does for a land environment. And what we do is we dig deep into those bills by trying to evaluate whether or not they're contractually compliant to the rate that was established, and or whether or not their benchmark analytics match up to the current market rates and conditions. And we help to drive those costs out. So as we dig and we recover, all we do is ask that client is, with this resource that you have, these bills and contracts that really do need to be looked at for accountability, can we not bring back to you this shared value setting, which says, if you allow us to dig on this land or in these contracts and invoices, and we're able to find savings, would it not be fair we could share in the savings? And we'll put your land back better than it was. We'll make sure your sod's better and it's greener than it was before, as well as have you have a lower cost to maintain this dwelling, these services, these properties and facilities that you own. And it's that simple, but people want to be the expert. They're afraid. Oftentimes people are afraid that they don't know enough, or somebody's digging into their backyard unexpectedly, are going to find up bones that no one knows, or a fear of retribution. And those are common fears, right, in all people. But what we want to do is really make people understand that this isn't an act of who did a great job or not. This is truly just looking at benchmark standards and analytics across the country that they should be able to enjoy. This is a look about vendor accountability as it relates to the contract they already signed. And what we want to do is make sure that they're not overpaying and they can take those monies right? And apply it back to their top line growth. Take those, there's no reason to overpay a bill. There's no reason to overpay anything unnecessarily and waste profits that could be used for the advancement of resident care or truly the advancement of bringing more residents in so you can care for them.